I was looking at my inbox this morning, and it hit me.
Oh, yeah.
I have this one colleague, we'll just call him Bob, and his emails are basically bullet points. Status, deadline, thanks. It's like borderline aggressive.
Okay, I know a Bob.
And then I have another colleague who starts every single message with a paragraph about the weather, asks about my weekends, my cat, three exclamation points before we even know what the email's about.
And depending on your mood, both of them probably annoy you for completely different reasons.
Oh, absolutely. With Bob, I'm sitting there thinking, is he mad at me? Did I do something wrong?
Right.
And with the other one, I'm just frantically skimming for the actual point, thinking, I just don't have time for this essay. It really feels like we're all running on different operating systems.
That is a perfect analogy because we are running on different operating systems. And what we're diving into today is essentially the manual for decoding all of them. We're looking at a workshop presentation called Leveraging DISC for Excellence by Dr. Nina Copeland, and it's all based on the Maxwell DIC method.
And I know some people listening might be rolling their eyes right now thinking, oh, great, another personality test, where I find out I'm an ENFJ or a Taurus or, I don't know, a golden retriever.
Right. What makes this different?
Yeah, what's the deal here?
Well, that's the key distinction. Dr. Copeland is super specific about this right out of the gate. DISC isn't a personality test.
It isn't.
It's a behavioral tool. It's not about what kind of vegetable you are deep down inside. It's about understanding the observable way you act and interact with the world.
So less who I am and more how I act.
Exactly. And the source material makes this pretty bold claim to set the stage. It says, behavior drives culture and leadership, and behavior drives results in business.
Okay, so the mission for this deep dive isn't just to find our letter.
No, not at all. It's to develop what is basically a superpower.
Adaptability.
Adaptability. If you can read the room, you can lead the room.
I love that. So, okay, let's get into the mechanics of this. The presentation starts with the foundation. Like, what even builds our behavioral style? I'm assuming it's not just random.
No, definitely not. The source lists 3 main factors that shape us. First one is heredity.
The factory settings.
The factory settings, exactly. Your DNA. Some people are just born with a higher idle speed. They're naturally more energetic. Others are born more contemplative.
See it in babies.
You do. Some come out screaming, ready to go, and others are just observing. But then you layer on the second factor, environment.
Nature versus nurture.
It's both. So imagine a quiet, reserved kid who grows up in a really loud, chaotic, competitive household.
Right.
They might learn to get loud just to survive, or they might retreat even further to find some peace. The environment forces you to adapt.
So the third one listed was role models.
Which is huge. I mean, who did you look up to growing up? If your hero was some brash, loud action star that shapes your idea of success.
Or a quiet, brilliant scientist.
Totally. So by the time we're adults, these 3 things, heredity, environment, role models, they've put us somewhere on a very specific grid.
Okay, let's visualize this grid for everyone because this is where it all comes together. Yeah. I want you to just imagine a square.
Okay, square in your mind. Now, draw a vertical line right down the middle.
Top to bottom.
Right. This is your energy axis. At the very top, you have outgoing.
Fast-paced, high energy, they think out loud.
Yes. They talk fast, they walk fast, and at the bottom of that line, you have reserved.
Slower pace. They think, then they speak.
Exactly. More observational. So now draw the horizontal line, left to right. This axis is your focus.
Okay.
On the left, you have task-oriented. These people are focused on the what, logic, data, results, checklists.
And on the right?
On the right, you have people-oriented. They're focused on the who, the relationships, the feelings, the connections.
Got it. So that gives us 4 boxes. Top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. And those are our D, I, S, and C.
And this gets to Dr. Copeland's main point about self-awareness. The goal is not to say, hey, I'm a D, so you just have to deal with it.
Right, it's not an excuse.
No, it's to realize, okay, I'm a D, which means I might be accidentally steamrolling the people on the right side of this chart.
So self-awareness leads to better decisions.
Better decisions, more credibility, all of it.
Okay, let's meet the cast of characters. Let's dive into these quadrants because this is where the light bulbs really go on for people. Top left corner, outgoing energy, task focus.
Yeah.
The D.
D for dominant. And if you're picturing that boss who walks in and says, I don't care how you do it, just get it done by 5, you're looking at a high D.
Intense.
Very. Their profile is someone who seeks results above everything else. They're active, they're multitaskers, and they are driven by having authority. They don't just embrace change, they create it. They hate stagnation.
I have definitely worked with people like this. Even a casual chat can feel like a status meeting.
Because for them, time is a resource. You don't waste it. But here's the nuance from the source material that I found so fascinating. We see Ds as just aggressive.
Yeah, maybe a little uncaring.
But their aha moment, the thing they really treasure, is loyalty.
Loyalty. That seems surprisingly emotional for a task-oriented person.
Well, it's loyalty to the mission and loyalty to the team that gets things done. And here's the kicker. They are very, very comfortable with direct confrontation.
Oh, yeah.
For a D, a shouting match isn't the end of a relationship. It's just brainstorming at a higher volume.
See, that is the translation error right there. A D yells at me, I'm going home to update my resume because I think I'm getting fired.
And they're going to lunch thinking, wow, we just had a great breakthrough session.
So where does that come from?
It comes from their greatest fear. Every style has one. The D's greatest fear is being taken advantage of.
So the aggression is a shield. If I am in control, you can't trick me or waste my time.
You absolutely nailed it. They need to drive the bus so they don't get thrown under it.
Okay, so actionable advice. I have to report to a D, or maybe I'm selling to one. What's the playbook? The presentation had some very specific rules.
The golden rule, and I love this, is be brief, be bright, be gone.
I'm tattooing that on my arm. Be brief, be bright, be gone.
Do not ask them how questions. How are you feeling about this? They don't care about feelings yet. They care about the results. Ask what questions. What's the bottom line? What are the next steps?
Stick to business. No rambling about my weekend.
You can physically see their eyes glaze over if you do.
Okay, speed and results. Got it. Now let's slide over to the top right. Still high energy, still outgoing, but now we're people-oriented. The I.
I for influencing. These are the life of the party people. Like the D, they're fast-paced, but they don't care about the data, they care about the story.
So these are your natural salespeople, your promoters.
Yes. The source describes them as emotional, animated, and they're encouragers. They seek a friendly environment. If you put an I in a quiet office by themselves with a spreadsheet, you will crush their soul.
Laughing. They wigger without interaction. They need an audience.
They do. And they treasure great experiences. They want the meeting to be fun. They want the project to feel like this grand adventure. But this comes with a huge vulnerability. Their greatest fear is rejection.
Or just loss of approval, right?
Right. And that is a massive distinction for a leader. If you criticize a D's work, they'll argue with you about the facts. If you criticize an I's work, they feel like you hate them. They blur the line between the tasks and their personal identity.
That makes giving feedback really tricky. You can't just bark orders at them.
No, the be brief, be bright, be gone strategy will backfire spectacularly. If you're too brief, they think you're mad at them. You have to allow time to socialize. You have to let them talk.
The source had a really brilliant tip for managing an I that had to do with their attention span.
Oh, yes. This is crucial. 4 short 10-minute discussions are better than one 40-minute discussion. The I loves the interaction, but they get bored with the dry details pretty fast. In a 2-hour meeting, you've lost them after minute 20.
And there was a big warning about those details, too.
You must follow up in writing. You will have this great, energetic chat with an I. They'll agree to everything, high-five you, and then walk away having already forgotten every single deadline you just talked about.
But not because they're malicious.
No, not at all. It's because they were so focused on the connection with you, not the content of the conversation.
So have the fun chat, then send the email. Great talking. Here's what we agreed on.
100%.
Okay, let's drop to the bottom half of the grid. We're in reserve territory now. Slower pace, more thought. Let's go bottom right first. Reserved and people-oriented. The S.
S for steady, and the name just fits perfectly. The source describes them as the most loyal, easygoing, and agreeable people on any team.
These feel like the people who are actually keeping the company running, while the D's and I's are setting off fireworks in the front yard.
So often, yes, they are the glue. They seek a team environment. They treasure peaceful relationships. The I wants excitement. The S wants harmony.
But steady can also mean resistant to change, can't it?
That is absolutely the shadow side. Their greatest fear is loss of security and confrontation.
So if a D storms in and says, scrap the roadmap, we're starting over, the S is probably having a full-blown panic attack inside.
Internally, yes. But externally, they might just nod and say, okay.
Because they hate confrontation.
They hate it. The S is the most likely style to say sure when they actually mean that is a terrible idea and it will never work.
That is so dangerous for a leader. You think you have buy-in, but you have silent resistance.
So to avoid that, you have to lower the volume, minimize aggression. The source uses the phrase friendly tone, but most important, you have to give them time to process.
No surprises.
Never spring surprises on an S. If change is coming, you explain the why. You walk them through it step by step, and you reassure them that their role is safe and what their new part will be. They need to see the path before they'll take the first step.
Okay, final quadrant. Bottom left, reserved and task-oriented. The C.
The C is for compliant. And I always feel like I have to clarify that word. It doesn't mean submissive.
Right.
It means compliant with the rules, with the facts, with the data.
These are the engineers, the analysts, the quality control people.
The architects, exactly.
Mm.
They seek an environment that honors logic. They are conscientious, accurate, and incredibly detail-oriented.
And what do they treasure?
Perfection. They want to get it right. Not just done, but done correctly.
Which means their fear is
Criticism, but it's a specific kind. It's not the do you like me criticism that the I fears. The C fears being proven wrong. They fear their work being found illogical or having errors.
So I'm guessing the I approach of, hey, let's just wing it and see what happens is an absolute nightmare for a C.
Their worst nightmare. If you want to persuade a C, you need data. The source is clear. Use validated facts. Don't say, I feel like this will work. Say, the data shows a 12% increase year over year.
And patience seems like it would be key here.
You have to be patient. A C will ask you 20 questions, and a D leader might hear that as insubordination. Why are you questioning me?
Just do it.
But the C isn't questioning your authority. They are stress testing the plan for holes to make sure it's accurate. You have to be willing to answer every single question.
So we have the D for results, the I for connection, S for stability, and C for accuracy. When you lay it out like that, it's almost comical how predictable our workplace conflicts are.
It really is. It's like a sitcom script, right? The D is yelling, go. The S is asking, but is it safe? The C is asking, is it correct?
Yeah.
And the I is asking, is it going to be fun?
Which brings us to the application part of this. Dr. Copeland really stresses that you can't just know this stuff, you have to use it, especially in leadership.
Right. It's about delegating based on strengths. If you've got a crisis and need a tough call made by noon, don't give that to your S, who needs 3 days to process it. Give it to the D.
And if you need $1 million contract, proofread, for the love of everything, do not give it to your I.
Give it to the C immediately.
The source also made a really good point for entrepreneurs about selling in your authentic style.
Yeah, that's the adaptability part. Again, you can't change your core style. If you're an I, you're naturally going to be bubbly.
Right.
But if you're walking into a pitch meeting with a C investor, you have to turn that dial down. You have to curb the stories and bring out the charts. You build trust by speaking their language, not just yours.
Now, I want to talk about this slide from the source titled Common Mistakes and call them traps. The presentation didn't define them in detail, but the titles alone are huge red flags. The fatigue trap, the comparison trap, rationalization trap. These feel like the reasons this whole system fails for people.
They're absolutely vital. Let's start with the rationalization trap, because that feels like the most dangerous one. This is when you use your DISC style as an excuse for bad behavior.
Well, I'm a D, so of course I'm a jerk.
Exactly that. Or, oh, I'm an I, that's why I'm always late. No. DISC explains your tendencies. It doesn't excuse your lack of discipline. You can be a polite D. You can be a punctual I. Rationalizing isn't growth, it's just putting a label on your flaws.
Okay, what about the comparison trap?
That's thinking one style is just flat out better than the others. In our business culture, we often worship the D style.
Oh, totally. The hard-charging leader.
We think all leaders have to be Ds. But some of the best leaders are S's who build these incredibly loyal, stable teams. Or C's who build bulletproof strategies. If you're an S trying to act like a D all day because you think it's better, you're just going to burn out.
Which I assume leads directly into the fatigue trap.
It does. Operating outside your natural style costs energy. It's like writing with your non-dominant hand. You can do it for a little bit, but it's sloppy and your hand cramps up.
If you are a reserved C and you have to spend all day at a networking conference acting like an I, you are going to go home and collapse. That's the fatigue trap. You have to know when to retreat and recharge in your own zone.
That's such a great point. You can stretch, but you can't live in the stretch zone 24/7.
Exactly.
Okay, before we wrap, I want to do a quick mental check-in for everyone listening. The source had this little activity called Style in Motion. I'm going to read 4 statements, and I just want you to pick the one that gives you that, yep, that's me feeling. Don't overthink it.
Okay, gut reaction. Let's hear them.
Option A, I like to take charge and get results. Option B, I like to inspire and connect with people. Option C, I like to support and create stability. And option D, I like to analyze and ensure accuracy.
It's usually a pretty quick visceral reaction. You just gravitate to one.
So if you picked A, you're likely operating in that D quadrant. B is the I, C is the S, and D is, confusingly, the C type.
The compliant, the analyst. Right. And of course, we're all a mix. Nobody is 100% one thing. But knowing your home base is step one.
It totally changes the lens you see things through. The next time you're in a meeting and someone is asking all these annoying questions, you can stop and think, okay, they're not trying to kill my project. That's just a C needing certainty.
Or that person isn't being aggressive. That's just a D needing to see progress. It depersonalizes the conflict.
It turns it from a personality clash into a simple translation issue. And that brings us right back to that John C. Maxwell quote from the source material. To lead yourself, you must know yourself.
That really is the bottom line. You can't control how other people behave, but if you understand yourself, you can control your reaction to them.
And the more you understand others, the more effectively you can connect. And in business, connection is really the ultimate currency.
So here's our provocative thought for you to take away today. We talked about those traps: comparison, rationalization, fatigue. Based on the style you just identified in your gut, which trap is your personal kryptonite?
That's a great question to chew on. Is a D most likely to fall into the rationalization trap for their directness? Is an S most likely to hit the fatigue trap because they never say no?
Think about it. And tomorrow, when you're at work, look at your team with these fresh eyes. See if you can spot the D, the I, the S, and the C. It might just save you from sending the wrong kind of email to the wrong person.
And it might just get you the reply you were hoping for.
Thanks for diving in with us. We'll see you next time.